Coming to America, 1988, starring Eddie Murphy and Arsenio Hall, and Eddie Murphy and Arsenio Hall, and Eddie Murphy and Arsenio Hall again.
How many checks you think they got?
Hey y'all, welcome to Curry Gumbo, where Nicole and Ashley discuss black film and TV. Today we are discussing Coming to America because you cannot be no podcast discussing black film and you ain't talking about Coming to America!
My name is Peaches. I'm the best. All the DJs want to feel my breasts.
I thought that they were two very lovely girls, and out of the bunch, I mean, one was a devil worshiper, one was Joan of Arc in a past life, the other one talked too much, the other one was a woman who couldn't be satisfied, the other one was Arsenio Hall.
I hope you don't mind me coming over and sitting down, but I've been watching you all evening, and I want to tear you apart.
I thought that the rapping twins was the girls to choose. They were beautiful, they could rap. And I mean, what more do you want? I don't understand. That the search should have
That
been over.
that's probably that's there's so many standout moments from this movie, but that's one of my favorites. Like, what's one of your favorite standout moments?
Definitely Randy Watson.
Sexual chocolate.
Definitely. Yeah, definitely. Who has a comeback in the sequel, and apparently everyone loves him now. But the only one who loved him in the first film was the guy, one of the guys who were in the barbershop. So I guess, you just gotta wait. 20 years later,
Mm-hmm.
you will be a star. Um, uh, I think there is no barbershop scene that I don't like. And it definitely the supporting cast like make this a cult classic, I would say.
Yeah. Starting from the beginning, we are in Zamunda,
Hmm.
fictional African country. And we just see the opulence from the beginning when Akeem is waking up to he doesn't even bathe himself. It's his birthday, his 21st birthday. So maybe was that no, that wasn't a birthday thing. He don't bathe himself.
Oh yeah,
But
he doesn't bathe himself. He doesn't
I'm
bathe
like, was it
himself.
the birthday thing? I'm like, no, it was a birthday. That was regular every day for
He
Akeem.
doesn't brush his own teeth. He doesn't. I mean, they even rub on his throat so he can gargle.
Gargle.
Like he doesn't have to lift a finger.
I'm trying to think back to 88. Um, I know we don't actually have memories, but for this to be the way they envisioned Africa, can you think of any other movies before this time that pictured Africa as rich and opulent and
I think that the color purple, you see a bit of Africa there. I don't know what country they were in. I'm sure that they mentioned the country, but
and she did say Nettie did say she loved Africa and the kids we saw that they were doing great in Africa in the color purple.
well,
So
I
we do
think
get
the film doesn't touch on the female castration in the same way that the book
that is
does.
part. Okay, there was that part. I'm thinking about how when I say doing great, like they weren't in a worse situation. It seemed like
Yeah.
being at Mr.'s house was a
Sure.
thousand times.
Mr. and the stepdaddy, they wasn't safe, not in their place in
So when I say the kids
America.
are, yeah, when I say the kids were good, I mean they were better off.
And this is why Alice Walker is so great because they were there as Christian missionaries, right? And
Oh
so
yeah.
there was still some of that tension between like, hey, why are you here? Like, why are you coming here? And
Mm-hmm.
like impeding on our way of life. So I think it was complicated, which is what I love, which I think is a critique of coming to America in many respects, like not just the conversation about Zamunda or Africa, but just about how everyone is kind of one way. No one is kind of
Mm.
complicated in any way. I would say like maybe Lisa is the most complicated.
Complex.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah. But I think other than The Color Purple, I can't think of any film that's told from a Black perspective. And I would say that this is a Black perspective. Most of the
Yeah.
folks in the film are Black. It's a story by Eddie Murphy. The director is white, and I think some of the writers are white, but I would still call this a Black story. Um,
Yeah, I
and
don't think white people are gonna come up with a story talking about the abundance of Africa in the 80s. I don't think that's coming from a white person's brain.
Eddie Murphy consistently is talking about wealth in a certain way. Like even with the Harlem Nights film, it's just like a lot of opulence. We got to do Harlem Nights.
Mhm. Yeah,
Even the
we do.
Nutty
What's that?
hmm,
It's like, where's Harlem Nights streaming at?
I feel like it's streaming on HBO. And even with the Nutty Professor, I would say this was not a very rich family, but I think they were very, at least the son was like super rich in
Yeah,
intellect. So I think like I don't think that Eddie Murphy as a person who is making film is interested in struggle.
struggle.
I don't think he's interested
Mhm.
in that, nor should he have to be.
Nope. Even Boomerang. We talked about
Oh,
Boomerang and how they had them nice ass apartments.
and everybody,
Where do you live?
Midtown, everybody just
Even
got it.
Tisha Campbell living next door. Like, Tisha, what you do for a living? Would you rather live in Wakanda or Zamunda?
Wakanda.
Really?
What would my job be as living in Zamunda?
Um,
I mean, the patriarchy is strong in Zamunda. I
that
ain't
is
got time
true.
for it. I don't got time for it at all. King Jaffer is an asshole,
You'll be
and
set to be married. You're either going to be set up to be married to somebody. Um, in another life, I would probably want to be a dancer in Zamunda because that dance sequence, another iconic piece in the movie. I feel like everybody at least try to run that back
yep. Shout out to
and
Paula
learn some of them
Abdul.
dance moves. I don't know. Wakanda's kind of been under attack lately. Zamunda, yeah, this very patriarchal.
I mean, neither of
Hopefully, it
them,
changed.
honestly. Neither of them. I guess I don't. I don't have a positive reaction to the monarchy. So I'm like, why do we have like kings and queens? That's horrible. But
Oh,
that's just me. So I just don't. That's the socialist in me. You feel me? So I'm like,
okay.
need to rework all of this. What is the distribution of power looking like? This is horrible. But ain't nobody got time to be
That's
washing a
fair.
royal penis. Ain't nobody got time to be washing a royal penis. And you already
You
know
could
with
do that
that
for your girl.
child, I ain't got time to be walking around. I'm too busy. I'm a writer. I'm too busy. Ain't nobody got time to be Garcelle friend. Passing out flowers. That's a waste of fucking flowers. And then Wakanda, they got that stuff. What is it? The stuff that cures
The
everything?
herb, the heart-shaped herb,
No, the stuff
the
that they put in their
beads.
clothes, the stuff that
Oh, vibranium.
they got that, and I know that cure
That
every disease. Dr. Sabi got something to do with that vibranium, and I just
it
know,
grows from the earth,
yup. So there you go. That's what I need.
minerals. So
You
it's
know they got
Akeem's.
vibranium smoothies.
Yeah, it's Akeem's 21st birthday, and he's supposed to get married. His parents have arranged a beautiful bride for him, played by Vanessa Bell at the time. Before she was Vanessa Bell Calloway. We have this elaborate wedding ceremony,
Mm-hmm.
and Akeem he's questioning this whole tradition. He's like, I'm 21. I'm just gonna get married to someone I've never even met. I don't even know her. I don't even know like if we would get along.
Mm-hmm.
And then what? And everyone around him is like, this is what we do. Like, who cares if you like her? Like, she's you're not supposed to like her, basically. Like, this is just the
Yeah.
arrangement that is going to be. And we see from her point of view, she's literally been raised to serve the king or service the king or to like what he likes and dislike what he dislikes.
Look, I know what I like. And I know you know what I like because you were trained to know what I like. But I would like to know what you like. For instance, do you have a favorite food?
Yes,
Good! What is your favorite food?
whatever food you like.
So she's prepared for him in a way. He stops the wedding and he's like, I need to think about this. Like, I really need to think about this. Like, cause this is crazy and I don't know. And so he decides to go on a little trip to America, to Queens, New York, to find love. Well, he's finding love. I think his parents are just thinking he's just trying to sow his royal oats or just, give him some
Yeah.
time to see what's going. Because even his dad is like, thought you was having sex with one of your bathers. Like, what you mean?
Yeah, I thought you was busting
Like,
them down. You ain't doing that. I do that.
exactly.
So I wonder, as an adult, what has happened to Akeem where he has had this shift in thinking. As far like everyone else in the film seems to be okay with this
On the
type of
same
tradition.
page, yeah.
What has happened to Akeem, and why is this only limited to the woman that he's going to have in his life? Notice he's not questioning the bathers. He's not questioning the
Oh,
people who brush
yeah.
his teeth. He's not saying like, "Dang, what did they want to do? Did
Well,
they want to do this?" Like, I understand that that is their job, but I think that if you're gonna question the marriage part, question all of it.
he did slightly question. He did say he would like to, like, bathe himself or use the bathroom by himself once in a
So I
while.
guess what I'm saying is that it all seemed to be directed towards him.
I
Like
think it is. I
I
think it's
want
about
to,
his independence.
yeah,
It is about him. Yeah, I agree.
as opposed to it being about the freedom of other people.
No, I
You
don't
know,
think he's morally conscious. I'm thinking this is just him wanting his independence. He's been cooped up, and even though it is a palace, some people can say that it's he's very restrained or isolated. Maybe
yeah,
Simi is his only friend, and so I think he's has a thirst to just explore. He's
yeah.
like, I'm 21. I've never been anywhere. I've never
Mhm.
seen anybody besides the
Mhm.
people in this house. So I think it is like a quest for independence and his own freedom
Yeah.
and his own
And I
free
think
will.
in other films or in other stories where you have a prince like this, a lot of times they're like join the army, join the military and go like help us conquer other spaces, and that's your way of
Right.
seeing the world. That's your way of getting experience outside of your home country. He ain't done none of that. Like
Nope.
he's not he's very sheltered. I think even though, like as you said, this is a palace, you could turn any place can become a prison. I mean, it's like
Yeah.
it's similar to whenever there's like a storm or a freeze, and everybody's like, stay inside, the roads is
Mm-hmm.
bad. And everybody gets cabin fever and like, I gotta get out of this
The
house.
girl, the pandemic. We just spent
Yes.
2 years in the house
But
and
I
you telling
can't,
people
I
going
gotta go
crazy.
somewhere.
Would you move to a new country to try to find love? You think you would?
Move to a new country.
Mm-hmm. A different country.
So there was no language barrier because they were speaking English in Zamunda.
Yeah.
So I guess.
If there's no language, okay. So there's this dating show on Peacock that I kind of like fell into. It's called Love Without Borders, and this is what they did. They took Americans and they sent them to different countries as like a matchmaker type of thing. So they matched them with people in a different country, and they had to move to that country. So one girl, she went to Dubai. This one dude went to Ghana. Another dude went to Paris. One girl went to Ireland, and another dude he went to Panama. And they was supposed to like see if they matched with someone from a different country, culture,
Hmm.
and how that worked out. So do you think you would move if someone was like, "Hey, Ashley, why don't whatever, anywhere," if it's South Africa or I don't know,
I've just
Morocco or
never
Dubai.
given that any thought. If I met someone and they're like, I have to move to South Africa, then I would consider moving for love. But if it's
But
like
would they be?
move
But what if
somewhere,
they're not American? Because that's the other thing. They're not of your culture.
I feel like I could do that. Then it would be very difficult. But if I don't have anybody and it's just like, go to South Africa and find someone, I'm like, I know I'm not about to do that. I
If
go to
you
South
had a
Africa, find a
matchmaker,
damn job. Huh?
if there was a matchmaker, like Ashley you got a good guy for you, but he lives in South Africa,
Oh, no, I don't.
you want to go
No,
there
no,
for a couple
no. I
months.
sure don't. I sure don't. I wouldn't even do a. I wouldn't even be like, "Hey, we got a new indicator who is just ready and he's great." I'm like,
Oh.
"Hell no, y'all, y'all motherfuckers,
But
no."
okay, this leads me to my other point because I feel like there's a conversation now about arranged marriages.
Hmm.
Some people are kind of like revisiting this idea because I think for the longest time, it's arranged marriages were looked upon as, I guess, forceful or like unfair. And because even in this movie, Akeem is like, let me find my own wife. You don't need to find one for me.
Hmm.
But now I feel like people are looking for assistance, whether it's a matchmaker, you have all these shows, Love is Blind, Married Blind, all these matchmaker shows. It's like,
I
do
wish there
do we need
was.
help?
I wish there was stuff like that for just friends. Like, hey, go find me some friends. I'm new to this area. Go find me some friends.
They
I
have
really
apps.
want to
They
do
have some
that.
of the apps.
Okay, I need to look. Well, I
They
don't. I have
got,
enough friends, but I wish there was stuff like that. And I've just been. I was talking to my friend about you know how they have like elder care facilities. So
yeah,
an elderly family member gets dropped off. They got painting and dances and
and
stuff.
they
And I
got
was like,
activities.
can I just can I come? Can I just can it be stuff like that for 35-year-olds? Cause look, shit, I want somebody else to tell me like, hey, lunch is being served. You ain't gotta cook it. Y'all gonna go painting, and then y'all gonna go jogging, and okay. So y'all
That's called
like
a
the day
meetup.
is set, huh?
They got meetups.
I'm talking about going to a facility where there is a playroom, a painting room, a reading room, a talking room, and then they come and give me some juice.
So you want, okay, from 10 to 11 we have sip and paint. From
Yes,
11 to 12 we got bowling.
that is what I want.
12 to 2 we got the afternoon movie special.
And then they come and feed me the meal. I don't have to worry
Lunch.
about the meal. They come and just give it to me and I eat it. And then I leave. But nah, I gotta go to work.
I mean, some people, they was finding love and friends at work. That
It's
works
so
out for
many people
some.
who find love at work. It's so many people who find side pieces at work.
That's another story.
Hakeem found love at work.
He sure did. So they get to
I called him
Queens, New
Hakeem.
York.
His name is Hakeem.
Akeem, Akeem, Akeem and Simi get to Queens, New York, and they trying to find some women. And that's when they go to the club and we meet all the women. We meet Peaches. My
Well,
name is
first
Peaches and I'm the best.
they get down there and they are just sharp as I don't know what.
Oh yeah.
If
Gold,
I was still in my
everything.
vegan days, I would be like, "How dare you be wearing that fur? How
Oh, the
dare you?"
fur. Yeah.
But especially that damn daddy when he came down, I was like, "This nigga got Mufasa. Mufasa is wearing
Wearing
Mufasa."
Mufasa. He is.
Um, so I mean, it's interesting. I'm like, why did he come there dressed that way? But he had
He
to,
don't
right?
know
Because no,
nothing.
but he also has to because it's a scam. His father does not know what he's doing. You know, his father thinks he's there to sow his royal oats, but he's like, nah, I'm about to go find my wife. And it's a very covert mission. It's not, so he has to go there dressed a certain
Oh,
way.
you mean why the dad when he went to go collect his son?
No, I mean, when Akeem and Simi arrive to New
Oh,
York,
because they don't know nothing. They never been nowhere.
and but
That's why
I'm
they
saying,
nervous.
yeah, and also, even if they did know, they can't give the secret away that they're going to blend in with
Oh
the
yeah.
people, to be commoners, as they would say. Once Akeem is there and he's trying to get a cab, he's like, "Halt!" So I
Stop.
think it takes him. I don't know. I feel like quickly he learns his
Mhm.
place. He learns that he will not be treated as royalty there,
He learned this ain't Zamunda. We are not in Zamunda anymore. We are in New York City.
and people don't give a fuck.
Nope. He wants to be where the people are. He says he wants to find a poor place, so he's at the common place, and he's not trying to stay in a fancy hotel or a fancy area. Like,
He still chose a girl who's a little moneyed, right?
yeah,
So, but I think but that's after she kind of proved that money is not her main objective. So
well, he
that's
liked her when he first saw her. I think when
very
he
true.
first saw her, he
Very
didn't know
true.
anything about her. He just liked her, and he
Yeah.
asked. He was like, "Well, where is she?" And that's when they said, "Oh, she work at McDowell's." He's
Hmm.
like, "What's a McDowell's? Like, what is this?" So he don't know her daddy is Mr. McDowell.
No, he doesn't. Um I what I like about a lot of Eddie Murphy films, if I'm thinking about The Nutty Professor, Harlem Nights, I think, with the exception of Boomerang, and I know there are many more Eddie Murphy films, there is a strong connection to the father. And I'm not even talking about the
Mm.
James Earl Jones character. I feel like Clarence the barber kind of sits as a paternal figure for Prince Akeem and Simi, but especially Prince Akeem. Clarence is the one to tell him to go to the Black Awareness rally. Clarence is the one who says, like, don't put that Soul Glow bullshit in your hair. Clarence is the
Oh
one who's
yeah,
like getting good with the girl's father, that like he's really giving him that advice that I
sage
think that
advice.
the king never provided, because I think the king can't see past his own way. In the 80s, when the Jerry curl was really popping, some films really critique that. So Hollywood Shuffle, there's a
Oh
critique
yeah,
of the Jerry curl and just all that juice in your goddamn
staying in the
hair.
couches.
And so that's the same here. And I would say that I think that is a critique on people trying to align themselves with whiteness. I don't think that the
Yeah.
Jerry curl is an attempt to look white per se, but I think that it is an attempt to change the natural curl pattern, to make the hair look
Definitely.
a certain way that is that lessens kind of the Afrocentric features. Because I associate the Jerry curl with black folks so much, I'm like, hell, that is an Afrocentric feature. But I guess it's like, because it moves away from one's
But
natural look.
to your point of aligning closer to whiteness, and the way it might be because 80s was about big hair for white people.
Mhm.
They wasn't thin bone straight.
Mhm.
They had they was doing the hairspray and the volume and the curly perms. So in a way, it was kind of like black people being like, okay, well, the afro ain't gonna work, but I can
Mhm.
get me a little ringlet thing going
Mhm.
on, like a little shaggy mullet, so to speak,
Yeah.
to fit
Yeah.
in a way.
And I mean, the critique is complicated because a lot of you couldn't walk into a lot of places with a big ass afro. They were not going to
Oh
take you
no.
seriously. Were you going to get that job? So I think for some
Nope.
people, the Jerry curl might have been a safer approach,
Yeah,
especially
definitely.
if you're in the corporate world.
It's
So
all about survival. What's her boyfriend's name?
Eric LaSalle, Daryl,
Yeah. Daryl. He looked like he wanted to be part of what's that singing group? That
DeBarge.
was yes.
How did I know
Yes.
what you was talking about? Yeah.
He looked like he was trying to be part of the barge. He was like, listen, I'm light skinned with curly hair.
Sure am.
You definitely gonna I don't need to ask you to marry me. Why I have to ask you? You just are.
Yeah.
So Akeem falls for Lisa, and I think Lisa kind of likes him as a friend. Like, so Akeem and Simi are working at McDowell's,
Hmm.
and Lisa works there too, I guess in the back office since her dad owns the place, and they kind of get like this friendship thing going on. And I think Lisa likes Akeem because he has a little bit of depth to him. Like he's not shallow, whereas Daryl is appears to be shallow. Like Daryl don't read books. What's you gonna say? What are you smiling at?
Do you believe this? Do you believe?
What?
Do you believe that Lisa would have been interested in Akeem?
No, I think she likes him as a friend
Do you think
because
that she would be interested in being his friend? How many people
work friend.
other than Akeem, who else from the store is she friends with?
Nobody.
It I
I think I can see her. I can see just as friends, just having a conversation with him and being
I
interested because he's
why
not
has
from
she
there.
I see what you're saying, but why do I have to be some foreign person for you to?
Because some people are like that. Some people are like they don't like the people in their neighborhood. They just feel.
Well, I
Some
don't even
people feel like they just don't. They don't gel with the people where they are, and so when you have someone foreign, so to speak, it's like, oh, this person's different. They're not like all these other guys in this neighborhood or all these other girls in the neighborhood. I want to get to know them because I've never met no one like this. I never met nobody from Africa before.
it's just difficult for me to believe, but I think it's because again, other than her sister, she ain't got no friends. We don't see her with nobody. We don't see her talking to
Nope,
nobody. But like we don't see like a fully fleshed out character.
Lisa.
And I mean, and she is playing a supporting role. And I think that's why when we saw her in Coming to America, the sequel, I was like, I don't really know how, like, I'm not as connected to you as I want to be. I don't really know nothing about you except you was nice to Akeem when you thought that he was a goat herder from
Mm-hmm.
Zamunda. But okay, girl, you ain't friends with nobody else in that restaurant, but you friends with Akeem. All right.
I can see her not liking nobody in the restaurant.
Um, and see, I would wonder why. And because then I would be like, are you kind of shallow, just like your sister? But
Possibly.
yeah, I mean,
Possibly.
with a dad like that, how could you not be shallow?
She got to play her part.
Yeah. And also, like, you didn't see that Daryl was an asshole? You just didn't see that? I'm confused.
Yeah, I don't understand why she was with Daryl. Like, what did Daryl do?
I would have thought
He was
that
a
she just
model.
had,
Was he
huh?
the Soul Glow model, Daryl?
No, he was the soul. His father invented Soul Glow, so he's the Soul Glow
Oh,
heir. But
okay.
I don't
Well, that's
understand.
why they was together.
Well, no, she seemed like she don't care about money. She seemed like she doesn't care
But
about.
she can't bring no poor man to her daddy. Her daddy gonna
She
be
did.
like,
She was bringing Akeem to her dad.
mm, he didn't. No, because she was still with Daryl up until the point when Daryl just told her she was gonna marry him, and she was like, "Okay, now
Wait a
I'm
minute.
with you, but you're not just gonna tell me that I'm gonna marry you." Like
Hmm.
that's when they kind of broke up. So, and then that's when she got mad, and then she went to Hakeem. She was like, "Damn, I mean, I get he cool, but you're not just gonna tell me I'm your wife and not even talk to me about it first."
I am saying I assumed that Lisa would might have been just a better judge of character and would have seen, because the film lets you know immediately that Daryl's an asshole. We meet
Yeah.
him at the Black awareness rally. She waves at
Mhm.
him, and when they pass around the collection plate because they're collecting money
Mm.
to rebuild Lincoln Park, he just shuffles the collection plate
Mhm.
along like, and he has this look on his face like, please, I don't care
He
about
not
Lincoln Park.
donating
I don't
nothing.
care about these kids. And Akeem is the one who puts a wad of cash in there. And Lisa assumes that it
It's
is
Daryl.
Daryl, and Daryl lies to her about it and say, "Oh yeah, I'll do anything for the
Mhm.
kids." So we already know that he's an asshole. They all
Yep.
go to a game, to a
The basketball
basketball game,
game.
and Daryl is being a complete asshole to Akeem.
Yep.
So, but my question is, did you not know that he was an asshole before all this? Because I knew he was an asshole 2 seconds in. Did you not know? Why you didn't know?
I think she knows.
And why you with him then?
Sometimes, listen, people just be with assholes sometimes. We've
Well,
all seen it. People be dating assholes
she could have
because
been
his
dating Maurice.
who was Maurice from the barbershop?
Louis Anderson. He was
Oh,
cool.
his name was Maurice.
I think that's what IMDb say.
They
I
gave him the name More. They called him Maurice in this movie.
child, Internet Movie Database could be lying. All I know is this. He said he working his way up the fries, so he'll be making the big bucks. And but he was cool.
Yes, they called that man Maurice. They must have wanted someone else for that role. he got it. He got it by mistake. Lisa and Akeem, they do start going on dates.
Mm-hmm. They sure do.
They start going on dates. She start liking him. They go to the museum. Akeem trying to hide that he not the Princess Zamunda.
At that point, though, what's the point of keeping up the lie? You're into her, she's into you. What's the purpose of keeping all this up? What's the motivation?
I'm trying to think when is a good time to kind of like explain that. Because you can't be like, oh, by the way, I'm a prince. So like, so why are you working at McDowell's? Like, what are you doing? I don't think Akeem had a real plan. I think he just kind of got caught up
Yeah.
because he was going with it until Semi asked the king for some more money, and that's when King Daddy came down to collect his son.
Yeah. And I think he knows that Lisa is in love with this character that he has created, and he's trying to remain in this character for as long as he can,
Mm-hmm.
or at least until the 40 days is up, because he knows that he has to return. I know that folks, the conversation about the differences between Patrice and Lisa, people have had that conversation before, how Patrice was the more like sexually forward one, And, there's the conversation about skin tone and stuff like that. I feel like those conversations have always been had. I don't really need to have it, but I'm happy to have it. I just feel like you're not going to get away from that in a movie with Eddie Murphy, who, child. I mean, part of me is like, when that was the issue for me with You People. Like, we know who Eddie Murphy really is. We know who Eddie Murphy really married to. We know about Eddie Murphy real ex-wife. It's difficult for me to believe this of Eddie Murphy.
Like him being militant or him
Him
being
being
alone?
militant and being like, "You bringing home a white man, huh?" Like, child, please.
Oh,
You ain't got no problem with that. And
I
it just
mean,
it didn't surprise me that the leading lady that he was interested in was a light-skinned woman. Even though people, I think some folks would say that Vanessa Bell Calloway is a darker skinned woman, and I think she is, and she's beautiful, and she was
yeah,
like the
the
beautiful queen to be. And
mm-hmm.
so I you
But
know
he
I
didn't want her.
he didn't like her, and her character ain't fleshed out at all. And I thought that the sequel could have done something with that. Like, who did she marry? What happened as a result of this? Like, her and Akeem have an affair? I don't know, but it just like, I just
So, question: do you think the movie would have made it? Would have, I guess, what if Vanessa Bell and Shari Headley switched? Lisa was the queen to be, who was just gonna do whatever the king says, stand on one leg and bark like a dog. And Vanessa Bell was the girl from Queens who he fell in love with.
I think that colorism is so insidious that you constantly question the intentions behind the creators. Like, it would have been, well, why is Lisa the one who is just positioned as the beautiful, gorgeous queen who is?
Also,
It
either
would
way,
have been that.
it would
Like,
have.
it would have been that. Like, what I appreciate about films like Harlem Nights, Boomerang, Coming to America, mostly everybody is black. The
Mm-hmm.
villains are black. Do you know what I'm saying? So, like, there's no conversation about, like, why is a white person playing this role? So if you have a diverse lineup and both of them are dark skinned women, that would be,
Mm,
especially if you are, because I feel like I saw some colorism and fat phobia when
the
Imani
first woman.
is being introduced, and there's a woman who is thick and she's dark skinned and she's loud and she's like, move out of the way, move out of the way. And Akeem is looking real scared, and I'm like, but what's wrong with her? Other than her being like, move out of the way. It's like, dang girl, like, what you coming in here? But your dad tell people to move out the way all the damn time. Your dad be cursing people the fuck out. So what's wrong with her saying that? But it's stuff like that. So, like, when I see that, and then when I see the sisters, a pattern is kind of being created. Still love the movie though. Great movie, wonderful film. You know.
I'm trying to see what Sherry Headley was doing in around 1988, but it seemed like that was her first major role coming to it, because I think Vanessa Bell Calloway has stated that that was her first role, I believe. So I can see her, because I'm thinking if they were to switch, like was she like a major? I guess was she in other things around this time for them to pick her to be the lead love interest? But I'm not really seeing that. Well, they said she was in the Cosby Show, and then Miami Vice, Quantum Leap, and Matlock, and then in '88 was in current Coming to America.
And I'm listen. I'm happy that this she has this role. This isn't like my way of saying she didn't deserve it. She does a wonderful acting job. She deserved the role.
No, definitely. She did a great job. I'm just trying to think if roles were reversed, could it have made sense back in '88? Because now Vanessa Bell Calloway is the biggest star. Her and Garcelle. So is this one of your favorite movies?
It's one of my favorite Eddie Murphy movies.
Hold up, they're like almost 10 years apart. I'm sorry, I'm still stuck on Vanessa Bell and Shari Headley. Vanessa Bell is 65 and Shari is 58. Say about 7 years apart. I would have never guessed. This is your favorite Eddie Murphy movie?
Not necessarily my favorite, one of my favorites. I really like The Color Purple. It really it's heartwarming to me. And I think it's because I hate that I'm like nothing about Zamunda feels heartwarming to me because
Well,
I can't connect with that much
Color
money.
Purple, that's a whole different type of movie. I do
Oh,
one
did
thing
I
I do
say
like
The Color
about
Purple? I'm
yeah.
sorry. I'm sorry. I meant Zamunda. I can't connect with Zamunda. I think it's the people in Queens who like make me feel. I really think it's the barbers. I feel so connected to the barbers. I feel really connected to the people at the rally. I love the preacher. I mean, I love it. And does the preacher come back in the
The
Eddie
second
Murphy
one,
film about the vampires?
oh, was that him?
Is that the preacher?
Vampire
Is
in
the
Brooklyn?
Yeah, this was that Arsenio Hall or was that Eddie Murphy playing the preacher?
I don't remember. I do love one thing I do like about Coming to America is showing. I think it's important to see Black abundance. I love seeing it because sometimes people be forgetting. People be forgetting that Black people have wealth.
Yeah, it's not like I don't need to see. I it
People be forgetting. We get all these stories about the struggle and poverty, and it's like, okay, can we have a balance? And for this to be an '88, I think
I'm
it's
with
a
you.
good
I'm with
to
you.
show.
I'm with you. I just hate that like other than money, what was interesting about these people? Like it was just y'all was just rich. We didn't spend a lot of time there for us to see anything that was valuable. And I think that you don't have to like you can financially struggle but not struggle. I mean, I feel like there are other ways to show that someone is living a fulfilled life without a ridiculous
Mm,
amount of money. And I
I
think
get it.
that's why I liked the Queen's part. Like niggas was laughing, having a good time. Like nobody, I mean, you saw that like their surroundings were not opulent, but was that because people were struggling or was that due to racism? I mean, that wasn't a like niggas got up and went to work every damn day. You know, if people were paid a fair wage, then they I think shit would be cool. You know what I'm saying? But I just didn't like the father's I didn't like the king's character. I don't think that anyone is supposed to. I think he's supposed to be like he just seems
Oh
like an
yeah,
asshole to me. So it's just
he
like
is
yeah,
supposed to be that.
it's
Yeah,
opulent, but it's he's horrible. Like I don't nobody want to fucking live in Zamunda with his ass. Like no. I just, you know, I think that it was to me the scenes in Zamunda just missed it. There was no culture to me.
because it's a fictional city.
I don't even think it's because it's a fictional city. It's just because it was just all about the royal family and not the people. Thanks,
for listening. We'll be back next week with another film and more opinions. Leave a review and tell us what you'd like for us to watch. And let's keep the convo going on Instagram. You can find us at Curry Gumbo. Be well, happy watching, love y'all, bye.